Hi everyone, I am back with another asana myth. Today I want to talk about the tree pose or Vrksasana, which I think everyone will know, but just in case you don't, it is one of the very well-known standing balancing poses. And you put one foot either to your inner thigh. That's probably the most common way to do it, but you can also slide it down to your lower leg. You could even have your toes on the ground and just the heel touching your opposite leg. You could even, if you find that this is too difficult for you to balance, you could put your foot a little bit further away and just the toes on the ground, heel off the ground. So lots and lots of options. In one version of Vrksasana, you actually put your the top of the foot onto your opposite waist, or well, waist will be a little bit difficult, but towards your opposite waist, onto your opposite hip. And similarly, the arms can do a lot of different things as well. They could be in Anjali Mudra, so palms together in front of your in front of your heart. They could be reaching up towards the ceiling, I should say towards the sky, and they could be apart as well. Your hands could be reaching in opposite directions. So there's lots and lots of different options, because the arms represent the branches of the trees, and of course all trees look different, and the branches can grow in all sorts of different directions as well. The feet and your legs represent the root of your trees. So you're grounded, you're really grounded, not just with the feet grounding you, that's just the essence of the roots, but the trunk, your torso is the trunk of your tree as well. So the significance of the tree, or trees in general, trees, forests in yoga, is that this is where yogis would go to practice yoga, and that means all aspects of yoga. So not just asana practice, but they would be in the forest, seek shelter from the forest, live in the forests as well, and practice asana as well as pranayama and meditation. They would contemplate, they would go there to the forest. This is also the place where yogis would receive spiritual knowledge from their gurus, and where they would ultimately want to achieve self-realization, enlightenment. And incidentally, this is also under a tree where the Buddha received and achieved enlightenment. The Bhagavad Gita mentions trees, or Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita compares the world to a banyan tree with all its different branches representing the home of all the species, all living beings. So we can walk those branches, or we could just seek rest. And yeah, I really like that image. The leaves are like the lungs of the world, because they produce oxygen, and the roots of the tree retain rainwater and they keep the soil from eroding. And trees are also a symbol of tolerance, in that they don't just provide food and shelter, that shade that I talked about, but fuel to those people who treat them well, but also to those who cut them down. So we can learn that tolerance, that generosity from trees. And from the tree pose, we of course also learn this balance. And I think you might have noticed, if you're familiar with not just the tree pose, but any balancing posture, is that it is really, really difficult to balance in it when your mind is somewhere else. That might be because you're excited about something amazing that has happened. It might be that you're worried about something. So it's not that this distraction is for a negative reason. It could be anything. But if your mind isn't there, if you're not concentrating, then you won't have that mental balance that you need to do the pose properly. So it is so much about that concentration. And to me, the essence of any asana posture is not just the physical posture that we're doing, but how are we doing it? So just like in weightlifting, if your mind is somewhere else, it will have a different effect on your muscles. And that's exactly the same in asana practice as well. So if you happen to be standing in the tree pose, but your mind isn't there and you're not concentrating on the pose, it is a completely different experience. So yeah, be in the moment, see this as your meditation, because every asana is a meditation. And then balance will come, and then we'll get so much more from posture than if we're just planning to stand in this posture, or to move through a particular flow for 5 minutes, for an hour, however long we want to practice this.